I'm Professor Sports Cards, and on this episode of PSA Pop Counts, we're going to research and look at 1952 Topps baseball, vintage NBA hoops, as well as more modern day players like Steph Curry. Why is the 1952 Topps Mickey Mantle card considered a rookie card? Why does it sell for the most all time? What is its pop count? What can we learn from it? Why does any of this matter? Well, that Mickey Mantle card sets a baseline for every other card to come, every other card that was made before or after it, and it's helping prop up and make the card industry stable. It's adding legitimacy. That card has been chased for decades and has been an investment piece for decades, and to see it reach prices that it has over the past 5, 10, 15 years is great news for anyone that collects, invests, enjoys the sports card market.
The Jackie Robinson's really pretty. Here's the Mantle. That's the iconic card, obviously.
Been a minute since I've got to hold one of these.
Spine.
That's cool. 3.5.
I'm not really sure why that's a 1. It's really pretty.
Yeah, it's a good looking barrel for a 1.
Yeah, I'm not really sure why that. I was not happy with that grade.
Feller.
4.5 Feller. Robinson, look at the Feller. Look at that pop on that red.
That's a good looking card. Is it the pinhole? Is that what that is?
Yeah, that pinhole and maybe a slight paper loss on the back.
Yeah.
1952 was the birth of modern baseball cards as we know it, the birth of Topps, its first official full card baseball set, and they continued to print from then on. The cards were an instant hit and much more attractive than Bowman, the only competitor at the time. Topps released a 407 card set, but not all at once. This was broken out in 6 different distribution release times. This article by Cardboard Connection states very well how the higher number of cards were produced later on in the year, and there were less of them, making the Mickey Mantle and Willie Mays rookie cards in this 1952 set more scarce. Whoever had the official idea of making sure the stats were on the back of the card was a genius and a hit, and it's continued on to today in sports cards. The set is considered to have Mickey Mantle, Willie Mays, Eddie Matthews rookie cards, as well as legends like Duke Snider and Jackie Robinson. While the Duke Snider is not a rookie card, this Willie Mays card is considered a Willie Mays. Although Willie Mays and Mickey Mantle had cards in the 1951 Bowman set, the 1952 Topps is considered to be their rookie cards. The last PSA 9 that sold, it sold for $1 million. As you can see here, there's only 9 PSA 9s and 59 PSA 8s, and it keeps that card over $200,000 because how scarce and rare it is in good condition. There's over 2,000 of these cards graded, but only 300 of them graded a PSA 6 or higher. Next we'll look at the Mickey Mantle. The one thing that can't be lost is these are all-time greats, and you mix that with scarcity and rarity, it's creating some of these monster prices we see.
And Yankee fans soon did more than just like Mantle. With his overwhelming power and tremendous speed, they loved him. 3 times Mantle was named Most Valuable Player. His best year was 1956, when he won baseball's Triple Crown. And while he was tearing up American League pitching, the Yankees were winning 12 pennants in his first 14 years. The newspapers were busy writing about Mantle's famous tape measure home runs. But his most memorable was not his longest. It came in the 9th inning to beat St. Louis in the 3rd game of the 1964 World Series. Mickey Mantle played for the Yankees for 18 years, and most of those years he played in pain. A debilitating bone disease called osteomyelitis had weakened him over the years, and in 1969, after 3 knee operations and numerous other injuries, Mickey Mantle, at the age of 36, retired.
Mickey Mantle won 7 World Series. He was a 3-time MVP and a 20-time All-Star. Mickey Mantle lives forever in pinstripes. This is the highest selling card of all time. It's sold in an SGC slab. And while in PSA Pop Count there's over 1,500 graded, there's less than, what, 200-300 graded and better than a PSA 5 condition, so it is extremely rare in high condition. There are less than 100, or what, a little over 100 in a PSA 7 or better. Of course, it's even scarcer at the top, where there's only 44 cards graded between a PSA 8 and PSA 10. This card selling for what it does gives us looks into an insight into why, and the PSA pop count and scarcity is huge, and it also gives hope and a positive outlook to the future of the sports card industry.
Is print runs, and this is a very important topic. It's timely right now because last week Topps 2022 Baseball Series 1 released. People are searching for these Wander Franco rookie cards, and there are rumors, there's people that have dug into the numbers, other content creators, and they have surmised that it's possible that the print run on these Topps cards are between 700,000 and 1 million. Is that even possible? Are we literally looking at print runs that have gotten that big? I mean, that's back to, 1989 print run numbers again.
In earlier episodes, we dove in 1989 and the Ken Griffey Jr. card, and the overprinting leads to just much lower prices. Take a look at the Fleer card there. You can get a PSA 10 for $76. Now, the big difference being that in 1989, they didn't have these one-of-one cards or autographed jersey cards out of 25 that are rookies. These should hold value because they are rare. And the players with money aren't just going to want the best base cards. They can chase after the Hall of Fame, greatest of the greats, one-of-one cards that really should boost and help the card market. You could easily argue that it's created basically a high chance or poorly odd lotto system in opening packs and boxes, and overinflated some of the prices on these boxes that make it difficult for almost anyone to open themselves. To those who can't afford it, you really are playing a fun game of, can I hit the $100,000 or $500,000 card, as you saw earlier with some of the Steph Curry or Patrick Mahomes stuff that are currently selling for over $3 million. But to get back to the main point, PSA pop counts like this aren't good for anyone, and the current print runs of the Ja Morants and Zion Williamsons are heading this way, and Wander Francos, and that's a shame. Comparing the Topps 1952 baseball to vintage basketball, here you see the 1957 Bill Russell rookie. He has no PSA 10s and only 3 and a 9, and the numbers speak for themselves here that this card is just as rare, if not more rare, than the 1952 baseball. This is the first year that they printed basketball. Now here's the first year Fleer printed basketball. They didn't print another set until 1986. Here's the Wilt Chamberlain, very rare card. From that same set is Bill Russell's only other card. Bill Russell has the 1957 Topps, and then here's 61 Fleer. Only a little over 1,000 graded. Again, none in a PSA 10. And that price, because it's not his rookie, heavily drops in a 7 and a 6 to becoming semi-affordable. And here's the in-action card of that same set. Only less than 800 graded copies of this card. Bill Russell has very few cards out there in general, let alone just rookie cards. Moving forward to 1969 Topps, this is Kareem's rookie card, and you can see the PSA pop count starting to climb just a bit with 3,700 graded. He has 2 and a 10. It's estimated if that was sold today, it would sell for about $2 million. Here's the same set with the John Havlicek. He also has 2 PSA 10 selling for 85 grand. 330 in a PSA 9. You can see a big price drop in the PSA 8. We're going to fast forward to 1980 Topps. This is both Magic Johnson's and Larry Bird's rookie card. The pop count does go heavily up, 11,000 now graded. However, these are two guys' rookie cards, so when you split that in half, either way, this card is iconic, will always be sought after, and there's 11,000 copies. We're going to move to the Michael Jordan a few years later, 1986. You double that. You have now 22,000 graded copies, 319 of them in a PSA 10. That's why this sells for $156,000. There was many less in the 20s of the Magic Bird card, and it sold for $500,000. Here, though, I did want to show you that the Jordan at $22,000 is the same as the 1981 Topps Joe Montana, and then 1986, same year as the Michael Jordan. The Jerry Rice rookie card, again, $28,000. Then you see right after that is when the sports card market does this to us, and no longer do they just have one rookie card, they have several. And we highlighted Griffey in previous episodes, and here's Shaq, who's probably the most noticeable basketball player to first have this happen to, where he just has many cards out there and it's held back the value.
Shaq has 7 rookie cards, maybe more if you consider subsets and redemption cards. There's also an early time in the 90s where most cards were sort of basic, and he missed the late 90s burst of sets like Topps Finest and Topps Chrome. Here you do see one of his more limited series cards, the gold Topps. While the pop count is higher than I thought it would be, it's still lower than many of his other rookie cards seen here. Next is probably his prettiest rookie card, the Upper Deck Black Border card number 1. Again, the PSA Pop report surprises me. I thought this would have been a more limited card than some of his other rookie cards. However, it's not looking here. Obviously in the 10, that's great, but there's a lot of these graded compared to his other rookie cards.
So another year that looks similar to Shaq is the Steph Curry year in 2009. Some of these pop counts are somewhat similar. Here's a dozen base rookie cards, and then of course many more with autograph and jersey. And here's his tops. And there's only 3,600 graded total. Now 367 of those are in a 10 and over 1,300 in a 9. So easy to get a high grade, or not rare in high grade. But I thought there would have been many more than just 3,600 of these graded. And then now here's the Topps Chrome from that year. The rookies are numbered to 999, so there's only 1,000 of these cards in existence. 206 have been graded with PSA, and you can see there PSA 10, 61 of them. And then here, moving to the Upper Deck card, again, only 3,000 total graded, over 1,000 in a 10. So in a high grade, they're out there. They're easy to get, but there's not a ton of these graded. There's not 16,000, 22,000. 50,000, very low total graded number, and that's not going to go crazy in the years to follow. So let's keep pushing forward. Here's 2013 Prism. Now Prism has been introduced, Topps has gone to the wayside, and here again, not a crazy amount graded, more than the Steph Curry and Topps, with 4,500 copies graded, over 2,800 copies in a PSA 10, and that's just too many. So while Prism is high in demand and good quality, this is one of the first years of Prism, it's still too many copies, and that's why you see it $1,000. 500 for the PSA 9, and Giannis right now, he is the player you want to collect. He's high in demand. He won the championship a few years back, and people probably have a perspective to win more here in the near future. Last thing we want to take a look at are the Prism non-base cards. These are introduced, and you see black mosaic 1 of 1 and a blue Prism. Here the regular Prism is kind of like what will become the silver, and that's at the very bottom, only 175 copies. What happens in the years to come is Panini takes this idea to an extreme level, and you start to see higher pop counts and just a crazy amount of different Prism cards that are not base. Again, moving forward, 2018, Luka Doncic, and what you notice obviously here is the total graded is up to 35,000. There's 19,000 copies in a PSA 10, and although again, he is, yes, the future of the NBA, there's just too many copies. And again, what Prism did is they started making all these sub sets of the same card in a shimmer, or blue ice, a blue Prism, look at that, a blue shimmer, the choice Prism, blue, yellow, green, and some of these don't have many graded. Some of them, like the fast break, over 350 copies graded. It's just insane what they started to do. You're going to see the silver coming up. There's the green, over 1,200 copies graded, the hyper Prism, the pink ice. And for video's sake, we can't keep going here, but where is that Prism? Here it's going to come up the silver. So we have the red, white, and blue, over 2,800 copies, and there is silver, still with almost 5,000 copies graded. So you think this is a rare card, and it really isn't. There's over 2,000 graded in a PSA 10. Jumping to John Morant, he has a similar situation as Luka. It's a year forward, 2019. More copies now, 21,000 copies, pushing 22,000. Over 16,000 graded copies in a PSA 9. And while he's a guy you want to collect, that card's going for $40 because of the pop count. Another year, more Prisms. Unfortunately, this is what the card market became the past, 5 years or so. What we learned from all this is pop count is just as important as the name of the player or the accolades of that player. If there's 20,000 copies in a PSA 10 or 9, it's gonna hurt the value of that card now, yesterday, and moving forward. What I want to do is take a look at, in the next pop count video, really do a deep dive into the 2010s basketball market. So we got a taste of it here at the end of this video with Giannis and Curry. And we'll start there with 2009. We'll work our way up to 2022. As you saw with those players, it really matters depending the year what the print run was and what the pop count is. Hey, if you made it this far, you found some value in the video, Iron Mike says give a like and subscribe. It really helps grow the channel, helps me know what I'm doing is providing some value. I hope you enjoyed and learned something.
What up, everybody? This is Robert Ory, aka Big Shot Bob, and you're watching Professional Sports Cards. Hey, by the way, go buy my rookie card.